Welcome all to a new video. This is a Foundry video reviewing the module Monks Active Tiles. It's something I recently started using and it's really awesome. So what I'm going to run briefly over how you access it, then I'll show you some things I've got set up. Now, this is not the be all end all, this is just a few variations of what I've got set. Actually really cool. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot more it can do. For more like comprehensive run through on this, I would say go to Bailey Wiki. He has some amazing stuff using monks especially. I'm going to show you some basic things so you can see how it works and what it can do. So first things first, to access it, you need to go into your tile tool and you just go make a new tile, and you'll see you have this new option called triggers. This is monks. You choose active. That means that when that tile's down, it will activate. You can decide who triggers it. So is it just me or players? So for example, if you have a trap and you don't want your monsters to trip it, you can just say only player tokens, so no matter what I do, it wouldn't trigger it. And again, you got things controlled by players. You can choose how it's triggered. So you got like click, movement, exit, enter, all these sort of things, all great options. Then here's your trigger. So all you do is you click that little button add, and then you select from a drop down loads of different options of what you want to do, how it works. What I'll do is I've got a couple of them already made. I'll show you these and then I'll set one up for the final item. I'll run through it, and I'll run through it from the player's side so you can see how it works for them. So this first trigger I have is one that will stop any of the sounds and then will play a different music, or trigger a new song, and that's simple as that. And that's on enter. So once a token walks in, that will trigger. This one's a bit more complex. This is a trap. So what it does first of all, it will pause the game. It will then run a macro, and that macro literally just says that you've triggered you will hear a loud click. What do you do? And I've put a time limit of 10 seconds in there, and then I've set a wait for 10 seconds, and then I have an attack that works, and that will roll, and that will trigger all the usual stuff. Again, that's on enter. This one here is a tiny bit more complex. This is actually multiple tiles. So if I can move. So my first tile I have is the portal itself. That's just a plain static tile. You can see the teleportation effect there. That is a second tile, and that's for the effect that gets triggered. And this is the actual triggering tile itself, and that lays on top. So what happens is this will, when you enter into here, into this square, it will trigger the larger tile, showing you the effect. It will wait 5 seconds, and then it will teleport them to a square over here. And then the last thing I'm going to do is this tile here. It's literally a shield icon, and I am going to go on this. Controlled when, so I want this on click. So this is going to be to add an item. So what this allows me to do, this will allow me to apply an item to them. So let's see, do I actually have any shields built? Don't know if I do. Yeah, so let's give it shield expression. So what we'll do, that's one around, so on triggering token, and then it wants to trigger that. That's the way. So what this will do is when the triggering person or token clicks on this tile, this shield of expression will be added to their inventory automatically. And that's legit. That's a trigger. It seems really complex, seems very kind of a lot of work. It's really not, but those are quite basic. There is a lot more complex stuff you can do. So for example, traps up here, you can have it so that it runs a passive perception check and then warns you to say you think something's a bit funny about here. What I'm going to do is on the tiles, I'm going to hide the trap so you don't see it, and then this one's already hidden. So what I'm going to do, I'll switch to the player side now. So you can see my players here. So first things first, we move into this one. The music's changed. So instantly that song stops, new song happens. Come down, there's nothing there. Step into this one, game pauses. You get a chat message. I have to wait 10 seconds. Should get some like elevator music instead here. And then you can see here that the trap triggers there. And I have to get to GM side. Roll. You can see here, dummy's going to roll. Succeeds on the save, and would only take a little bit of damage, which is brilliant. You can see here on the DM side it shows that it takes half damage because he succeeded. Okay, so unpause again, and this player now continues onwards down to this portal. Ooh, there's a portal there. Click. You see that effect, and then suddenly we're there. And oh, there's a shield, awesome. Click on the shield. Now if I go to the inventory, you should have expression. Now I have multiple ones, but I'll show you it does add it. So if I remove these. Just to prove it does it. So there's none of them in there. Click the shield, and I get shield of expression. So yeah, that's kind of it. I mean, it's really quite simple to set up. Most of it, it's what you want to do. I mean, obviously this works in conjunction with JB2A's animation stuff. You can have sounds, you can have animations, you can have different types of triggers. Obviously I've got a hidden trigger so players don't see it, so this is really useful for traps. I see Monk's active tiles as a great variation to multi-level token, and also what's it one? Trigger happy. Basically it does both of those modules in one. The only thing you can't do with monks is you can't do polygon tiles. It has to be a square tile. But you can make it as big as you want. And there's loads of different settings. So if I go back to like one of these, let's look at this one. Let's run through a couple of these different options. So again, you click it, add. And you got things like you can add an effect to them. You can add items. You can roll them into combat automatically, or add them to the tracker. You can open doors, so that's really great for like triggering like secret traps. If someone's there, you can literally have something that if they trigger it, a door opens, or like a door puzzle. You can kind of have that process. You can change permissions on things. You can create tokens. You can change the elevation, so if you want them to go up, so really useful for like stairs. So if you use stairs, you can have them step onto a stairwell, and that elevation will change them. Let's have a look. These roll tables. I'm not going to go through everything on here, but you can see there's so many different things, and there is a lot more work you can do with these. And if you have certain modules, it works. So obviously, for instance, quest log, tagger, and monks. All of those work in conjunction with this module. Monks obviously would definitely do so. but it allows you to do certain things. That you can filter checks, and like the request role is really nice. So there's lots of different things you can request. You can remove the dialogue, so the little pop-up box that says is it critical damage or whatever, you can have it straight roll. You can have it auto roll. You can have it like affect like all tokens, and then with the request roll for monks, you can have it only work with. So if tokens fail, tokens succeed, any failed, and things like that. So you have like a workflow set in place as well, so that workflow kind of runs with it, which I think is really quite awesome. But there is a lot of functionality with this module, and something I'm going to be playing with. You can open like journals and character sheets. The things like the portals and hiding the teleportation effect is really nice. And you can also have the teleportation effect go away as well. So the alternative thing I could do with this, always forget to change it. So if I go to this trigger, see, rather than this, I can have it go, well, let's trigger the tile. No. Which one is it again? Hide the tile. I want to select that tile. I want to hide and update. So what this does is, if I move over here, first of all, hide that. So again, if we go here to test dummy, goes down, it will trigger. They move across, and then the effect has also been hidden as well. So you'll see here, if I click on this tile should now show as hidden, even though it was triggered. So it's things like that you can do. It's really flexible, and there's so much you can do with this module. I would highly recommend you all have a play with it. Yeah, so I think I can recommend this any higher than I already do. I avoided it for ages, and then I thought I'd give it a whirl, and it is really useful. I can't see me going back to using anything else but this module for like things like teleportation and all these sort of triggers, traps especially, if you like automation. Obviously there's you don't have to have this automation there, things like that, but I would definitely recommend playing about with this if you want to have that kind of immersion for players. But yeah, anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one.